Tonight on UCentral News. The World Cup is right around the corner, but the current TSA situation has some travelers from abroad concerned. Luke Underwood has the story. Plus, a red flag warning is in effect for central Oklahoma. How long will this fire danger last? Phoebe Hilliard has your full look at weather. ABC has opted to cancel the new season of The Bachelorette due to controversy surrounding the cast. Hannah Akama gives us the details. And in sports, the Thunder's win streak ends at a dozen after a tough loss in Boston. What's next for SGA's crew? Luke tells us who's next up for the Thunder. All of this and more happening now.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Hello Broncos, I'm Phil Rodriguez.
And I'm Luke Underwood. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News. As the U.S. continues its military operations in Iran, President Donald Trump spoke at a cabinet meeting today about the path forward. He discussed recent moves by the Iranian government, including the passage of oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, and said diplomacy is still possible. But the ball is now in the Iranian government's court, and according to President Trump, quote, they are begging to make a deal. Here is what President Trump had to say in his own words.
They are begging to make a deal, not me. They're begging to make a deal. They are begging to work out a deal. I don't know if we'll be able to do that. I don't know if we're willing to do that. They should have done that 4 weeks ago. They should have done it 2 years ago. Or they should have done it when we first came into office.
Well, middle age will soon no longer be a barrier to enlisting in the Army. On April 20th, the maximum age for new recruits will go up from 35 to 42 years old. The change brings the Army in line with the Air Force and Space Force. The Navy and Coast Guard have a slightly lower maximum age of 41. The Marines, meanwhile, being the most restrictive with a cutoff age of 28. The Army raised its max age to 42 during a recruitment slump 20 years ago, but that change was only temporary. Recruits with only one conviction for possessing marijuana or drug paraphernalia will also no longer require a waiver to join. Bit of a hot one today, wasn't it?
It really was. I'm glad I looked at the weather and made sure to put on some shorts.
This time of year, you have to look at the forecast every day before you go out. Phoebe, you got a little forecast for us right now?
If you did look at the forecast before, don't worry, I have you now with your first look at weather. It is currently 93 degrees and mostly sunny outside. Well, right now, actually, there's no clouds in the sky, so if you have a picnic plan, go through with it. But maybe wear a cap because winds are coming out of the south-southwest at 12 miles per hour, and humidity is down to 39%. And if you're in the shade, it feels like 91, so not much of a difference. It's hot either way. And with this hot weather and the high winds, we are under red flag warning from right now until tomorrow at 9 p.m. So please be careful. Stay away from large grass fields and anything that looks dry. It probably is, so please be careful. And right now, sorry guys, go to CVS, go to Walgreens because pollen from trees, ragweed, and dust are very high right now. So please be careful, carry around some tissues, and be alert. And next week, we might have some rain, so this won't last for long. And for this and more, join me later for your full look at weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Phoebe. I've definitely been feeling those allergies for sure. Well, the University of Central Oklahoma student organization, UCOSA, held a debate for the candidates running for president and vice president. UCentral reporter Mackenzie Glass has more.
On Tuesday, March 24th, UCOSA held a debate for the candidates running for the 2026-2027 office. This event was open for anyone, and during the event, we're able to ask open questions to each candidate. Ticket 1 represents Jake Eads, who was running for president, and Luke Underwood, who was running for vice president of UCOSA. Their ticket takeaway is as follows. Current issues such as advocating for transparency, bringing forward new ideas, and making sure, quote, every voice is heard. In the past, Eads says he has been able to allocate over $100,000 towards student organizations and would like to continue to do so moving forward. They also say they would like to add blue emergency boxes around campus in a collaboration with campus police to enhance safety in parking lots and high traffic areas. They would also like to improve student community engagement through programs like the Central Pantry. Ticket 2 belongs to Johnny Butler, who is running for president, and Mark Harmon, who is running for vice president for UCOSA. Here is their ticket takeaway. One of the biggest initiatives Butler endorsed throughout this debate was the DREAM Survey program, where elected student workers would be dream managers for students. Those who are looking for guidance can send in 3 to 4 dreams that they have and would meet with dream managers to discuss how they can, quote, figure out how they are going to accomplish those dreams. They also mentioned that they would like the president and vice president to attend every weekly UCOSA meeting where they discuss student concerns in order to stay aware of them. And they also mentioned that they would like to have a committee through UCOSA that would hire students to go and fix any issues that pop up around campus. Erica Card, current UCOSA secretary, says that although their focus has been on creating a smooth transition of power between candidates and chairs of UCOSA, it will not take away from their weekly meetings to discuss student concerns on campus.
Thanks, Mackenzie. One of those guys looked a little familiar. As the FIFA World Cup 2026 approaches, concerns are growing over travel challenges for fans entering the United States. Officials with the Transportation Security Administration and the Department of Homeland Security warn that staffing shortages at major airports could lead to long delays for international visitors. With millions expected to travel for the tournament, federal agencies are working to streamline entry procedures and avoid disruptions. However, some experts say current systems may still struggle to handle the surge. The World Cup is taking place in 16 cities across North America in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. As preparations continue, travelers are being urged to plan ahead and allow extra time for airport security and documentation.
The University of Central Oklahoma has announced it has a new vice president. Jill Van Egmond was officially named UCO's new vice president via a press release from yesterday. Before joining UCO, Van Egmond served as staff attorney to the Honorable Justice James Winchester of the Oklahoma Supreme Court for 20 years. On top of her legal work, Van Egmond has also had positions with various nonprofits. She was most recently the executive director of several nonprofits, including Visit Stillwater and the 99s, an organization that supports women in aviation. Based on previous interviews and her social media, Van Egmond is a big sports fan, also evident from her time working as a director both for the PBR Rider Relief Fund and Oklahoma City Dodgers Baseball Foundation. President Todd Lamb issued a statement via the press release saying, quote, Jill brings a remarkable depth of legal expertise and a thoughtful approach to complex issues that will serve our university well.
Funnily enough, I'm hoping to have something in common with her, that being a VP here on UCO.
Hey, it might happen. We'll see what happens, but that's a hot take and maybe some more hot weather coming up when Phoebe gives us her full look at weather. That's next.
It's time to explore, to come out and play. Our city is waiting, so what do you say? Whether daytime or nighttime, the right time is now. Finding those moments to make you go wow. Amazing new places to fit every mood. Shopping and dining. Did we mention the food? There are green parks and ballparks and water parks too. Museums, attractions, and also a zoo. The modern frontier is the friendliest place. Now is the time for your dreams to be chased.
It's the Roadway Replay.
Time for the lightning round, Brian. Let's rewind your drive to work. How far did your car travel while you checked your phone? 20 feet, 100 feet, the length of a football field.
100 feet.
Oh, sorry, Brian. In just 3 seconds on the highway, your car traveled the length of a football field.
Distracted driving? It's no game.
Hello Broncos, and welcome back to your full look at weather. Like I said before, it is 93 degrees and mostly sunny outside, and the winds are coming out of the south-southwest at 12 miles per hour. The humidity is at 39%, but we are under red flag warning until tomorrow at 9 p.m. So please be careful and stay out of places that look dry because they probably are, so be safe rather than sorry. So not throughout the state yet, but allergies. When I tell you that the tree pollen is very high, and weed is right behind it, and you can't see it, but dust is there as well. Please be safe. Grass is getting up there because, as you know, we are almost at May, so the grass is growing now, so please be safe. Now throughout the state, Guyman, they're going through it right now. It's almost 100 degrees out there, so maybe stay in the middle where we are. We're at 90 degrees, and as you go lower into the south, Ardmore's at 85, which is not that bad, but as you go closer to the west, they are getting up there, so please be safe. And they are under red flag warning too, so be safe. Tonight in the state, so sorry y'all. Tonight in the state, it's gonna be clear tonight, and it's gonna be 48. So it's gonna be a drastic drop because we are gonna have a little cold front and it's gonna affect your plans tomorrow. And the winds are gonna be coming out of the east-southeast at 50 miles per hour tonight. So it's gonna be very windy, so if you have a hat, maybe pull it out, don't worry. Pull out a hat. Humidity is going to be down at 19%, and we have a 25% chance of rain, so we might not see it, but there might be a little bit of drizzle, so you never know. Just be safe. And throughout the state, Guyman, they're going from 100 degrees to 35, so if they get sick, we know why, and they need to stay in the panhandle. And as you get lower to where we are, it's going to be 40s, 50s, Ardmore at 58, and then McAllister at 58 as well. But in the middle of the state, and as you go up to the north, not that bad, 40. So we are going to need jackets tonight. But tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty nice day, a little bit of an overcast. So it's not going to be as hot as today, but it will be nice. So we might be able to wear jeans tomorrow. Thank the Lord. In the morning, it is going to be 55 degrees and cloudy. And as we move into the afternoon, it's going to be 61 with a little bit of an overcast. And as we get into the nighttime, it is going to be 45 degrees, but it's going to be clear. So we're going to have a jacket on, maybe a hoodie throughout the day, and then a jacket in the morning. And then throughout the state tomorrow, it's going to be pretty mild, 60s throughout the state. Guyman by themselves, again, the panhandle, 59. But us, we're going to be in the low 60s, and as you get to the south, middle 60s. So it's going to be a pretty mild day tomorrow. And then as we're looking at the full weather until next Thursday, tomorrow, 20% chance of rain. So maybe just keep just a little hoodie on deck. It's going to be cold anyway. And then Saturday is going to be 60. And it's going to be a little bit of overcast, but we might see peaks of the sun. And that's going to be our chill time. And then we're going to hit Sunday through Tuesday, where it's going to be extremely windy with winds getting up to 20 miles per hour. And then from Tuesday on, we're going to see a little bit of a rise in thunderstorm and rain chances. And as we get into next week, Friday, we do have chance for thunderstorms. Now, Luke, Phil, it was really hot today, but we see lower temperatures coming. What do you guys think?
I'm really glad about it. I do hope that there's no rain Saturday. I know big events going to be happening there, and I would just want the best weather for that. How about you, Phil?
Oh, it looks like you're not going to get rain on Saturday, but maybe some cool temperatures. And then hot and windy, my favorite weather. It's so good for my hair. Golly. Oh, well, Phoebe. Maybe we'll get something good, but right now it's just ping-ponging all over the place. One of these days. Thanks, Phoebe. I'm going on too long again. Coming up with social media, Ryan Gosling tells Hollywood it's not moviegoers' job to keep theaters open.
Stephen Colbert is writing a new Lord of the Rings movie, and Akama will have your social media update after the break.
Built for the road ahead.
Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Hello Broncos, I'm Hannah Akama with your social media update for this Thursday. ABC pulls Taylor Frankie Paul's season of Bachelorette amid fallout over domestic abuse allegations. A spokesperson for Paul said the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star is currently exploring all her options, seeking support and preparing to share her own story. The move comes amid reports the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star and her ex Dakota Mortensen are involved in an ongoing domestic violence investigation. A video was posted on Thursday of Paul attacking Mortensen in front of her daughter in 2023 during an earlier incident. What is Stephen Colbert's next epic quest? Writing a new Lord of the Rings movie. Stephen Colbert is co-writing a new Lord of the Rings movie, Warner Bros. Pictures and New Line Cinema announced. We've got a very special partner that we're working with, said filmmaker Peter Jackson in a video shared across social media at midnight on Wednesday before introducing the comedian and late night show host via video call. He will co-write a new movie with his son, screenwriter Peter McGee, and the Lord of the Rings screenwriter Philippa Boyens. Its working title, Lord of the Rings: Shadow of the Past. Colbert said in the video with Jackson that the film will adapt 6 early chapters. Three's Company, through Fog on Barrow Downs from Fellowship of the Ring, the first book, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings trilogy. These chapters were not part of the first film. Ray Nutt is retiring as CEO of Fathom Entertainment. Fathom Entertainment, leading specialty distributor of content to theatrical partners worldwide, announced that Ray Nutt is shared with the company's board of directors his plans to step down from his role as chief executive officer and retire later this year after serving as the company's lead executive for the past 9 years. Currently anticipated to depart Fathom later this year, Nutt is expected to play an active role in assisting the board in its search for a replacement top executive and will seek to ensure a smooth leadership transition at the company. Ryan Gosling tells Hollywood it's not moviegoers' job to keep the theaters open. He quotes, "It's our job to make things that are worth viewers coming out." Ryan Gosling made a surprise appearance at the New York movie theater on the opening night of his latest big screen blockbuster, Project Hail Mary. Welcoming a packed audience, Gosling flipped the script on who's responsible for keeping cinemas afloat amid the rise of streaming and declining box office. 6 years ago, I got the manuscript, Gosling said, referring to Project Hail Mary. It's the most ambitious thing I'll ever make. It seemed impossible. It was too good not to give it a shot. 6 years later, we did it. Here we are, all back in theaters. It's not your job to keep them open. It's our job to make things that are worth your coming out. Over spring break, I watched Ryan Gosling's Project Hail Mary. Have you guys watched it at the desk?
I absolutely did get to watch it. It truly is an amazing movie. Phil?
Yeah, it was absolutely great. You can kind of understand why Gosling is saying that when he makes a movie that good and that entertaining. It makes you want to go to the box office and check it out. So,
absolutely.
Thanks, Hannah. UCO baseball and softball will be continuing their season with games this weekend.
And the Thunder's 12-game winning streak has come to an end. I'll have all of your sports stories after the break.
Sometimes it makes everything funny. Sometimes it's nothing to laugh about. Weed. It's funny like that. And unlike alcohol, with marijuana, there's no legal limit. So even if you don't feel high, you could get a DUI. No matter how much weed you've had, don't get behind the wheel, because driving impaired is illegal. And that's no joke.
Hooves up, roll Chos. Today's a great day to cheer on the Broncos.
Welcome back to the Pain Train.
Okay, Sean, here's your final question. A train hitting your car is the same as your car hitting a boulder, a brick wall, or a soda pop can.
A brick wall?
At a whopping 20 million pounds, a train will crush your car like a pop can.
Beating a train? It's a game you can't win.
Hello, Bronco Nation. I am Luke Underwood, and let's get straight into your Thursday sports stories. The UCF baseball team is getting ready for a 3-game MIAA series against the Fort Hays State Tigers. The Broncos, who are currently holding a record of 13-15 on the season, are hosting the series here in Edmond. The Fort Hays State Tigers are the best chance for consecutive wins for the Broncos, as they are currently on a 6-game losing streak compared to the Broncos' 2-game losing streak. The games will take place at Wendell Simmons Field Friday at 4 p.m., Saturday at 2 p.m., and Sunday at 12 p.m. Staying with the Diamond, the UCO softball team is looking to continue their dominant season this weekend as they prepare to face the Rogers State Hillcats. The Broncos, who are currently 25-6, also hold a record of 3-1 in the MIAA, with their only loss coming against Central Missouri, who they would beat 9-0 in their second matchup. Rogers State is 20-10 overall, with a record in the MIAA of 4-4 against losses against Washburn, Northwest Missouri State, and Emporia State twice. Both games will take place tomorrow at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. in Claremore. March Madness is underway, with games taking place starting today and tomorrow. So I have a few picks for the games tomorrow to share. For the first game, Duke will be battling St. John's. This one is a very tough one, as Duke has been a little underwhelming so far, and St. John's appears to have something to prove, but I think Cam Boozer is going to help Duke pull one out. Next up, it's Alabama versus Michigan, another tough one to choose due to Alabama's ability to shoot the ball, but I'm going to stick with the favorite Michigan, as the Wolverines have been dominant this season. Next up is Michigan State versus UConn. UConn is the favorite going into the game, but Jeremy Fears has been impressing me, and the Spartans are a clear dark horse for the final two, so give me the upset. I'm taking Michigan State. The last game for tomorrow is Iowa State versus Tennessee. Iowa State has had a good season, but is riddled with injuries. As well, Tennessee has been 4-2 against the spread in recent matchups. However, with Joshua Jefferson's being listed questionable for the Cyclones, give me the Volunteers moving on. The Oklahoma City Thunder's 12-game winning streak came to an unfortunate end last night. The Thunder took on the Boston Celtics, led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The Celtics, who are currently second in the Eastern Conference, defeated OKC 119-109. 6 Celtics players scored double digits, with Jaylen Brown grabbing 31 for the night. The Thunder were led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who had 33. Only Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren scored double digits, with disappointing performances from J-Dub, Caruso, and Ajay Mitchell. The Thunder have been on the road for a while, for over a week now, and they had to play in the difficult TD Garden. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be back in action tomorrow, with the Thunder returning to the Paycom Center for the first time since March 15th to host the Chicago Bulls. The Thunder versus Bulls will tip off at 7 p.m. tomorrow, live from Loud City. Phil, I gotta know, what do you think of my March Madness picks?
I think they're pretty solid. I think Michigan State could possibly upset UConn, even though UConn's a pick that some people have for the championship. And Tennessee, though, that one's crazy. You're crazy for that one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It could happen.
You think Iowa State's gonna be able to stay healthy?
I like that Momcilovic, man. That guy can.
That's true.
Yeah, he might still be good. We'll see. We'll see. Anyhoozle, a nonprofit in the Southeast is battling chronic disease.
And Phoebe Hilliard has our last look at weather after the break.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back, Broncos. It's like we said, weather's been all over the place. Hot, cold, wet, dry, allergies, no allergies.
Absolutely has been. Let's toss it over to Phoebe for our last look at weather.
Okay, guys, like they said, it's hot today, but it's going to be pretty chilly tomorrow in the morning when you're coming to school or you're going to work. Get a jacket. It's going to be 55 degrees with an overcast, but as we move into the noon, it is going to be still cloudy, but 61 degrees. So maybe wear your jeans with a cute little tube top, but you won't need your jacket anymore. But then as you go into the nighttime, it is going to be clear, 45 degrees though, so keep that hoodie like you got in the morning, keep it with you. And throughout the state tomorrow, it is going to be pretty nice throughout the state with a little bit of an overcast in the metro, but as you go into the south, it's going to be really clear. 60s across the state with Guyman being at 59, and in the metro this rest of the week, it's going to be really windy tomorrow, and we have a 20% chance of rain, so not too high. But as we move into the weekend, we have a good day on Saturday. 60 degrees with a low of 49 at night, but that's just preparing us for the week to come. It is going to be hot and windy, so please be careful because we are going to be under red flag warning. And then as we move into Tuesday and the next weekend, we are going to have chances of rain, especially coming next Saturday. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you guys at the desk.
Perfect. I love this weather. Thank you, Phoebe.
Definitely no sarcasm.
No,
there.
none at all. None at all.
all.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's my favorite. I love when my hair is just sort of destroyed like a blow dryer whenever I walk outside.
Do you not like blow dryers?
I like blow dryers when I need a blow dryer, not when they're full of red dirt.
So you're telling me you don't have like a secret toupee under?
No, I do not, unfortunately. Maybe next time. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today, Broncos. I'm Phil Rodriguez.
And I'm Luke Underwood. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of UCentral News.